Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do an oil pastel background. It's kind of a last minute thing. I had an eye doctor appointment this morning because I'm healing from a tear in my retina, and so I'm kind of still dilated in my left eye. So I'm okay. It's healing very well. But I couldn't do any detailed work as far as coloring. So I thought, well, why not do the background to the page I just finished and share my technique with you guys. So I have tools here in front of me. These are available on Amazon. I've hauled these tools, so I will link them. But I have a variety of sizes to use because once you see the picture, you're going to see it's quite detailed, and we need all of those. I'm going to use oil pastels from the Paul Rubens set that I did a video on. I've already chosen two colors that I'm going to use, and you'll see why I chose these two different shades of gray. I was looking for a light smoky gray look. I needed a neutral background for this picture. All right, so the picture that we're working on is from Magical Worlds from Johanna Basford. And I had to take my page off so we don't get any oil pastel on it. But this is the picture. I love it. Um, yeah, it's very intricate in here and it's not quite done. I have not done the uh, crystals on this. So I thought that these two colors mixed together would give the background that would complement it. I don't want anything to overshadow the vividness of these colors. This is done with Prismacolor and the Sparkle Pop Silver Glitter Pen. And I really enjoyed doing this. I love this color palette. I kind of just sat down a couple nights ago and was thinking about what to use, and I didn't want green leaves. I wanted to, I just love bright colors and I like to go out of that comfort zone of what something should be. So I came up with this palette. I mean, I'm sure other people have come up with this palette, but um, I just really love the blue with the red and orange. I just think I don't know. I just think it really goes. So, what I did was I taped my book with on this side because I want to protect the page, but I can see I've got to move the paper over a little on this side. So I don't want to get it in the crease. Because I want to go right up to the crease in the book, the binding. Um, so yeah, I think, well, maybe I gotta move it a little more. Um, yeah, there we go. So so I use painter's tape because I'm not wasting washi tape. It's too pretty, right? Um, and then I overlapped a couple pieces of paper here for this. So I don't want to go over this because if you get it on the side of, it could go onto the other pages if you don't overlap your paper. But I just use painter's tape. And when you take a sheet of this off or a piece of this off, to avoid, because I have done this, when you take a sheet off to secure your page or protect the other page, just like rub it on your jeans or your shirt a couple times to get that stick away so it's not so sticky so that it won't rip your page. And that really is a trick, and this painter's work or this painter's tape does work that way. You just have to get some of the stick away, and it's so cheap from the hardware store. I mean, you can get it at Target. All right, so then we also have, oh, I just changed the temperature of my light. Hang on. All right, I think we're back. Um, I have a palette that I'm going to be working with, but I'm going to try and keep it out of the glare of my lights the best that I can. Let's see, you can see my ring light, you can see the light over here, but hopefully that's not gonna, once I show you what I'm doing, I think we should be okay as far as, yeah, that light, it's gonna bother me, but we're gonna work with it. And I typically just use one glove because I'm just using my finger and just so we don't make a mess, these brushes. So set the brushes here and let's see, we're going to do one section at a time. So I'm going to start and work from left to right because I'm right-handed and I don't want to put my hand in it. Also, you're going to want to keep the paper on there even when you're done because, or you can put it back. I'm not quite done with this picture, but I might keep the paper there um, because when you go to spray a fixative, you want to seal your oil pastels because um, it'll transfer to the next page. Or you can take a piece of like, um, um, oh my God, wax paper and lay it down in between your pages. But you don't want that to transfer. It's terrible. And I can show you the fixative that I use real quick. Um, let's see. So this works really well for me, and I've used it for years on card making and stuff. So um, it's just the Aleene's acrylic sealer gloss finish. Take too long to dry, but I do take it out in the garage and do it out there and leave it out there for the night because oof, the fumes are you don't want the fumes in your house. But it's not, I don't think it's really toxic to you. And basically, I just spray once this way and then this way and leave it alone. And it's always good. So let's just start this. So the first thing I do after I tape it and everything, I obviously decide which brush I'm going to use. And because we're doing a bigger area in here, I'm going to start with the biggest brush. And what I do, this palette, I mean, so cheap. It's on Amazon. I'll link it. You can find one at the dollar store. I have the Caran d'Ache one too, but I haven't played with my Neo colors yet, so I haven't even broken that one out. So I'm not sure. They say to use the texture side sometimes, and but I'll figure it out myself. But this is really smooth, and I wish I actually had a smaller one. All right. So what I do, and I can bring you down while we do this section. All right. Let's move. All right. So what I do is lay the darker, I scribble the lightest color down, and it really doesn't matter. This is just how I do it. And the darkest color down just to kind of mix them. And I know I'm going to need a lot, so I don't know why see, it doesn't matter what order you go in. Honestly, I don't even know why I said that to begin with. But I just kind of mix it into itself to get that color. All right. Then what I do is just take a little bit off of here on my brush. And it's kind of, the oil pastels are they're kind of thick, but I like working with them because I feel like they give you such a nice color payoff um, when you're working with them. So I'm, I mean, this color is, you can build it up and you can work this with your finger too. So, and I do that a lot of times. I'll just go in and start doing this. But I really do like, and I don't have enough on this palette, obviously. I really do like using the brushes. So, yeah, I just want to make sure I have enough. Yeah, so I'm getting that much on there. And sometimes it takes a little muscle to really work it in. but I'm looking for a smoky look. So I'm not really using any particular motion. I'm just laying this color down, and the way that it lands is the way that it's going to be. And so I can go back and darken areas. So yeah. So see this darker area here? What I'm thinking is, if I feel like the background isn't enough, and I don't want to go over the quotes that I've done, so I'm just I don't want to really, I don't want to pull too much in this area, but I want to pull as much as I can so it's less work for me. So I'm going in, just leaving about a third of an inch away from my image. And with me, I will always go back and try and fix things, and, well, not fix them, but always improve them. But I really like this technique. So then I'm going to use this brush. Let's see, make sure I'm getting everybody in camera, or getting everybody in camera, making sure you're in my frame so you can see what I'm doing. This brush is one of my favorite ones too, because you can really stipple with this, and I like that. I'm just going in, I'm not touching where I colored, because we have these other smaller brushes here that we're going to go in and do that with. First, I want to get this background somewhat done. I didn't think, like a big, let me bring you up a little bit. I just didn't think that any kind of bold color, anything else would really look good with this. I just didn't want anything else to overshadow these vibrant colors, but I didn't want to leave it plain either. So, see, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, did not get on that page, but I thought I put a lot of thought into this, like what to do for a background. And I thought smoky, maybe add a little glitter later. I'm not sure. I always have to step back from my work and really evaluate like what I really want. See, you can always brush it away from, if you did what I just did, you can always brush it away in the opposite direction if you get too close. But I do want to get as close as I can. So I'm pushing it up and around in these areas. I'm looking at my camera to make sure that you guys are seeing this. Yeah, I really like this because my brush is even like, it's kind of like going like this into the paper, and I'm pushing it around. Also, anyone who is familiar with Prismacolors knows that the color sometimes can transfer onto your page. Like if you just touch it or a little piece gets on it, it is so super sensitive, the pencil. So like I'm always like, really? Well, I can always cover it up when I do the background. So like right here, for instance, there's some red there. So even though I tried to erase it, no, it didn't work. Also, I don't go up, and I doubt anybody will see that anyway. Um, yeah, like this is gonna hang in a museum. What was I gonna say? I lost my thought. I'm gonna bring you down a little bit. so you can see what I'm doing. I just have to keep making sure that everybody, or that this picture is in my monitor. And I'm praying to God it doesn't try and focus and refocus. The camera does that sometimes, and if I turn the focus off, it's just like a blur. You can't even see. All right. So I'm sorry if my arm is in the way. I'm working in these smaller areas, just getting the color in there, blending it around. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I don't go like, I'm not like being perfect right up to the picture. I go as close as I can, but I never, I mean, it's so seldom that I color right or put my background right up to the colored part. I try to get as close as I can, but it never works out. So I just try my best to get it as close as I can, but I don't really think it looks that great when it's, really up close. So where did that tiny, well, let me see. Yeah, we want to use this one to get into this area right here. And I'm kind of going in lightly because as you can see, it's um, going on my colored part and I don't want that. So I just kind of wipe it away. All right, let's do it right here. And you could use a Q-tip if you don't have a really thin brush, or I mean there's so many. You can use a sponge, your finger. Um, you can use cotton balls. You can use just about anything to put the stuff down. You don't have to have specific brushes. Um, so I am already seeing like I want to go back in and darken this up a little bit. So I'm using the smaller brush because I feel like I can pick more up and I can be a little rougher with this brush. When I wash it, it'll go right back into shape. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like once you start working it, you'll be like, oh, I want it smokier at the top, or I want it darker at the top, or lighter. And you need to take some lighter colors and put it in there. So don't be afraid to play with your pages. Like they're not going in a museum, so um and it's your work. So you should be proud of what you do. Um all right, I'm gonna go in this little area here and add some of my gray. See, and I think it looks better when it doesn't go all the way up to um the picture. I'm probably gonna go back and outline um I don't know if you can see the glitter around these swirls, but I'm going to go back with my glitter pen and um, just kind of put some more there. I knew I would have to because one coat is never enough when you're trying to cover up black lines. So, yeah, let me go back in and kind of deepen this up a little bit. I know this is not the prettiest color to do a background with, but for this picture, it works. Um, so I really enjoy using chalk pastels too. I think that they're fabulous. They're a lot faster than these. However, you can't work as meticulous with those. The powder gets all over. So that's when the oil pastels come in for doing more detailed pictures. So I'm making sure you guys can see. If I suddenly stop, it's because I'm looking at my monitor. And I am sorry about the glare that the glitter is giving off. But if you're a glitter girl, you probably don't even care. See, I'm kind of just spreading it around, giving it some smokiness. That's the only word I could come up with what I wanted for this picture. See, even when I go over it in the in between lightly, it's not really covering my Prismacolor. And if it does, just use a cotton ball or whatever, or your finger to get it off like I'm doing. Um, but I think this picture itself is so pretty. I love butterflies. So just had to do it. And this picture is just, or this book, magical, what is it? Is it Magical Worlds? Magical Worlds. It's so freaking beautiful. The images in here are amazing. All right. I'm coming close to these leaves, so I'm just kind of pushing outwards away from where I'm putting the pigment just to make sure I don't touch my pencil work. I'm gonna grab a couple Q-tips though, because in between those leaves it's very tiny. Not to mention that you could also use a paintbrush with a stippling effect. Um, so I think there's lots of options. So I'm just gonna go in, put a little bit of the oil pastel in here, and then as you can see, flip it around, do whatever you gotta do, um, just to get it in here. I know that on some images, I'm gonna be like really, really particular about covering up a lot, but mm, this one just calls for something, but not necessarily a great big background page or background. I just think less is more. So I'm not the greatest teacher either, so I apologize. Um, I'm really not. I'm one of those people that I just do my thing, but teaching just doesn't come naturally to me. So my way of doing things, you may find a better way. So yeah, don't I mean, I think we're all like that. It's like, well, I'm going to do it this way. And see, you can go with your Q-tip and just kind of wipe any excess oil pastel you may have gotten on there. So I want to get some of the in here a little bit more. I don't want this to take forever, and it really shouldn't. It shouldn't take very long. Yep. Mm, well, yeah, I wish I had just one size tinier brush, but I don't. Just a little bit smaller. I probably have one on Amazon, but I have so many brushes. I was like, I think this will cover it. And this one here is so thin. Um, but like half the size of this would be really good. If I looked hard enough, I would definitely find it, but when you try and look at measurements for these types of things, that's where you're going to get caught up because you're going to be like, well, is that really going to be the size that I'm looking for? And you'll be disappointed if you end up with the same size that you already have. So I'll just have to really investigate miniature brushes. So the center is where I want it to be lighter. Um, it needs something, but not a ton. Yeah. It's like this picture reminds me of like something bohemian. Um, yeah, there's something about it. And it's probably the colors, actually. It's just giving off bohemian vibes. Right. So for the crystals right here, um, I don't know how much I'm going to turn my light down a little bit. Maybe you guys can see the gray better. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I'm thinking of using that holographic extreme glitter paint that I just hauled. I think that that would be gorgeous for the crystals. So I do have some pointed Q-tips. I was just too lazy to go get them. But they would probably work best in these areas. I'm trying to give you as many resources as possible um, to work with. Oh, I don't think I'm going to go back with the big brush. I need to put this on more like that. So I really like the effect I'm getting with this one. All right. Kind of stay away from those crystals. I could have masked them off with masking fluid, but I didn't feel like it. Because you can be careful and still do all this. And I know I'm going to go back and deepen this up a little bit on the outside, outer part of it. So just working it into your paper. You don't have to be gentle. This is not going to bleed through the other side. Okay. Where's my, did I have one, I did have one smaller. Where'd it go? Mm, nice. Where did my other brush go? Okay, no. Maybe it was just these ones. Why did I think I had three black ones? Because I did. Look, guys. See? There's a smaller one I was looking for. I'm such an idiot. Okay. So the brush I was wishing for, I have, but actually it's still a little bit too big. So, all right. It's a little bit too big, but that's all right. That's where you can use the pointed Q-tips or another brush, a paintbrush that stipples. I actually found a stash of those in my drawer, stippling brushes. I was like, when did I get these? Or they could have been my mother's and I inherited them out of her craft stash. Mom had a lot of stuff. I sure do miss her. Um, all right. I'm gonna go across and just get this outer part done. Let me put some more. I want to make sure you guys can see everything. I'm just kind of pushing hard on it and kind of mixing it. I want to push away from those flowers because I'll go in with my smaller brush. I wish this was a more vivid tutorial. I do. I feel bad almost because, yeah, gray. Thanks for showing us a gray background. I promise it'll be beautiful. Well, I think well, maybe my new subscribers don't know, but I was a professional makeup artist. So I do know color theory and everything, and I don't really have a hard time with colors. I just always look for fresh ideas. Like I just ordered a book. I do have Sarah Renee Clark's color cubes, but actually my husband bought me a book on Amazon, and um, it's all color palettes, like different color palettes. They're more unusual, I think, from what I saw from the book. I just started looking and I was like, oh, you know what? I think I need to get this book. So, just more ideas. Alright. So I did not want to add any glitter background to this, like those paints, that stream glitter paints. What I am thinking I might do is I have a glaze that I might put over this that is shimmery, just to give it and you can hand paint it on there. I'll show it to you when I finish here. But yeah, I'm thinking that glaze could work just to give me that little bit that I need. I'll have to go over my stems and stuff with my silver color sparkle pop pen. Did you guys know that? Okay, so I'm running out of silver and gold because they're my favorite colors. But I went to see if you could buy them individually. Well, you can. However, they come in a pack of 12. You can't just get like a 3 pack. It's terrible. It really is. I'm like, seriously? You need to buy 12 of these? Because I have never had a silver pen like that, or gold, silver or gold, like that sparkle pop. Oh my God, I love it. That's what I did all this with. And it is just so opaque and glorious. And I love it. So yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with it. So if you want it, you got to buy the 12 pack. And I wish that, yeah, be careful with your Prismacolors because I just dragged some blue out, not meaning to. I don't know how much I can cover it up. I'm going to try. Um, that's why you have to seal these paintings because paintings. Really, Mary? Yeah, you're Monet. They even just having the Prismacolor down, it's gonna smear if you press on your book too hard. So I don't really mind the blue coming down into the gray that much. Kind of complements it. And it's only in a couple of spots, so I don't really mind it. But yeah, just be careful. Anyway, what was I saying about the sparkle pop? You have to buy 12. Yeah. It's worth it though. I know what I was saying. I wish I had someone close that did the same hobby that I could share that with. I'm going to wipe the section off with a Q-tip that I just got on my colored area. It's very easy to do. And you can go back over with your pencil too if, just like I'll get it later. Um, so I'm stuck with the 12. I did order them because I need the silver pen more than the gold. And yeah, And for some reason the gold was a little cheaper, like $3 cheaper. And I'm like, why is the gold cheaper? And that's a regular price. And I try not to buy anything at regular price. So, but if I waited for a sale, I don't know how long I would be waiting. Yeah, I'm just smushing the color in there. I'm really loving it though. I know I've got to go back and fine tune the color, but laying this base down is really pretty. So you can just wipe it off like that. See, I love these oil pastels. All right. Oh my goodness. And another thing that I wanted to tell y'all, the editing program that I use was banned. Yeah. So if I record a really long video, like a swatching video, I would use that video to speed it up and play music. It's CapCut. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm not telling you. It's CapCut. It's been banned, just like TikTok. I guess they're the same company. They're owned by the same company. So I don't know if they're going to come back or not. I hope so because I did like playing with that. I was just getting used to it and it's gone. So I don't I don't know if I'm going to be able to swatch those chroma flows. I got to find another editing program. If I can't, I'm just gonna swatch them and show you my swatch sheet because I want to use them too. Um, yeah, I can't believe it. Like no notice, no nothing. Just went on, boom, gone. So I'm sure a lot of people are having the same problem, but it's just disheartening that I don't know. I just don't understand it, honestly. CapCut is not interfering with our national security. They're making videos. TikTok, I guess that's the reason they shut that down, but I don't know. I just am sort of like, and I think TikTok came back up already. Now that I think about it, I think I heard that this morning. So maybe CapCut will come back. It's all so crazy. See, I told you this was very detailed. Maybe I should have did an easier one, but yeah, I figured people don't want to watch it, they won't. I'm moving down on this page now, so I'm moving my picture up. All right, we got a good portion down. But these areas here, mm, I always go back though and adjust my color. So that's just something that is preference. You may lay it down the first time and love it, or you may be like me. I mean, I don't do it for every picture, but for a lot of them, I have to go back and deepen the color in areas, and you know how it is. Y'all know. This just needed a smoky background. So if you look at the darkness and then the light, you can see the difference. Like it needed something behind it. Um, so here we are. So about my eye, it's turning into a chat. This whole thing. About my eye, yeah, the retina tore. I guess it happens as you age, and I started seeing this was Christmas just before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve. Maybe it was Christmas Eve. I was sitting down and um didn't have a really bright light on, visiting with family, and I started seeing silver, or I'm sorry, a gold light, like a flash of light out of the corner of my left eye. This is a very important, this is important knowledge for anybody who doesn't know about this, because the eye doctor doesn't tell you apparently. Um, anyway, it was consistent. I just kept seeing this flash, and I never have eye problems, so it was weird. This flash of gold, like gold tinsel almost. And I was like, what is going on with this eye? So I went to bed that night and I started looking up on the internet, and it said you could have a detached retina. And I'm like, what? And it's like, seek immediate care. So, oh, I know what it was. I called the doctor on Christmas Eve, and he said, well, you'll have to come in, like this was Wednesday, so you'll have to come in on Friday. Um, so I was like, oh my goodness. And so I was just hoping, that because give me a lot of facts about it being a detached retina on the phone. He just said you have to come in. And so I was just like, oh my goodness. So I did go I went to my eye doctor that day, and he took a bunch of pictures and said, "Yeah, you have a tear in your retina. Apparently, there's this liquid that, as you age, it pulls away from your eye, and I forgot the name of it now. Things with a G, I think. Well, anyway, this liquid, it happens to everyone. Just if you're nearsighted, I had LASIK surgery, but I was very nearsighted. It's apt to happen to you if you're nearsighted. So, um, yeah. So he's like, yeah, you have a horseshoe tear in your retina and you need to have that fixed immediately. So he had his assistant call a specialist that wasn't too far away and told them, you got to fit her in. She's got to have this fixed. I'm thinking, oh my God, fix it? Like, how are you going to fix this? Turns out they laser it. Um, yeah, I went to the specialist and they did more pictures, numbed my eye, and I had to have, um, they take the laser, like say this is the laser, and this is like, this little part is the tear, like say this triangle here, or triangle, it's like a Hershey's kiss. Anyway, but they take the laser and you have to hold onto the table, like there's two bars and you're leaning forward, you're into the machine, like if it was an eye exam, and he takes the laser and it does, again, you get an increasing ache, but I was like, I am not going to let him stop, because he told me, you can stop anytime you want, just let me know, we'll take a break. No, I needed him to do it right and do it all at once. So it takes the laser and you're numb, but you get that increasing ache, and he goes around and zaps the whole area of that tear. And at the end, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, yeah, it really, it hurts. And but I was like, finish. And he told me that most men, he has to stop like 3 or 4 times. It takes, instead of 15 minutes, it takes 3 times as long. And he's like, there is something to be said for women who, we bear children and everything. Our pain tolerance is a lot better. And I was like, I just did not want you to screw up. So, yeah. So that was my whole thing. But that happens to people who are, mainly to people who are nearsighted. But he's like, people are in here every day for this. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and I said, what are the chances it's going to happen in the other eye? And he told me today it's going to happen. I don't know if you're going to get a tear, but it's going to detach this fluid, and hopefully um, I won't get a tear. But he said that since I did in the first eye, my chances of it happening in my other eye are pretty high, even if it might happen in the same eye in a different place. So it really sucks. The whole thing sucks. But you got to get it taken care of. You can't just like, because if you don't get it taken care of, the retina can detach completely. And if that happens, you could lose your vision. So that's how people, I knew nothing about it, but I'm sharing this information with you because I didn't know. And I mean, I'm not old. So, um, yeah, I old enough, I guess, for it to happen. But he said it even happens to younger people, so um yeah, it's don't ignore your eyes if something doesn't feel right because that will you're only hurting yourself basically. Just anyway, I hope you appreciated that information. Oh my goodness. But people I have told, just friends and family, obviously, were like, really? Oh my goodness, and then you find out, well, that happened to so and so and this person I knew. And it's like, oh my God, like seriously, this is a thing. Like this is happening to people and nobody talks about it. So yeah, it's just like, wow. But it is a thing. But so I think the dilate, if you stay dilated for, I don't know, a few hours, I guess. So I knew I couldn't do anything that was too meticulous today. Um, well, in the next few hours anyway. And I'd rather be with you guys. So, alright, we're getting to the end here. Um, if I wasn't talking and everything, this probably would have went a lot faster. I won't do all my nitpicking on screen. I promise. I will like do this, go back and everything off screen. I was just sharing how I do a oil pastel background. Like I said, I wish it was, some bright orange color that I was doing a background or a bright yellow, but hey, I'm sharing. Don't ever be afraid of a medium because honestly, you can't it up. I mean, you could, but I mean, it's fixable. Everything is fixable. I'm just laying the color down here. I'm definitely gonna go back in there. Um, yeah. I knew I didn't want anything to be like just solid. I had to have the smoky look. So I've got a vision. These, Prismacolors, are they're just so vivid and I mean, they're gorgeous. I mean, I have other expensive pencils, but these are still like my number one. The way they blend and oh my goodness, they're just, everything always turns out gorgeous. I have a friend who was talking about the Holbeins and I, you know, she wants some. If they were a gift, I would never say no, but I am not spending that much money on Holbeins. They are way overpriced. They really need to lower the price and maybe they'll sell more. Um, I don't know. I know they're an artist's pencil and I know all about the light fast ratings and everything, but when you're a colorist, like, so what if artists use them? I want to use them. Um, I want to try them out, so I'll probably buy a couple just to try them. But then you get caught up in what if I really like them? You know what I mean? I'm not still I'm not paying that much, so um, yeah. I really want to try the luminance pencils first. And maybe I'll get those for my birthday in April. I don't know. Just depends. I mean, I know our budget and, what we can afford or whatever, or what we shouldn't afford, be able to afford like those pencils, but um it's a very pricey gift to ask for. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna ask my husband for those. Um because we have a big trip coming up to Wyoming, and that means more to me than a set of pencils. Because what if we love it and want to live there? Um, because we are going to be downsizing, but I mean, not to say that's the reason we're going, but um, it just might love it there. I don't know. I've never been there. I mean, for two people, you should not have the size house that I have. Um, it's beautiful, and I think I've talked about this before, but I want a family to enjoy this house. Um, it's me, my husband, and our dogs, and it's just way too big. It's too much to clean, all those things. I'm tired of it. Yeah, not so talkative today. Okay, so I can see, pieces that were parts where I missed. I'm gonna pull us out a little bit, and here we go. Yeah. So this is the background, and I really, really love it. Let me turn out the light so you guys can see this better. The overhead light. Oh my goodness, we're like got lights flashing everywhere. All right. Well, that took some of it away. Um, so what I'm gonna do is, and I'll post this picture on Instagram, coloring a latte on Instagram when I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the background. I'm gonna make the edges darker and just get where I didn't get. And then I'm going to go in and redo my lines where the glitter was. And while we're here, let me turn my light back on. Oh my God, that is so freaking bright. Let me push it this way, away from the picture. Let me show you guys um, what I was thinking of adding to the background. All right. So this is actually a sealer too. So, but my problem is I don't want to add this to the butterfly or the leaves. So I think I'm just have to paint it on the background. Yeah, a single coat to dry paintings. Mhm. Anyway, it's the Montmartre, can I talk? Montmartre iridescent varnish. And it's really glittery. Can y'all see that? Yeah, it's got that here. Maybe you can see it from the bottom. It's got that glittery effect there. I think I'm catching it. Let me put my hand over the label. There. Much better. So it's clear, and basically put it back on. It's clear, and I think that it would be really a nice finish. So it's not just gray. But like I said, I will post this on my Instagram. And um, as far as like, I know a lot of people do a month by month, um, what they've colored, um, kind of video. Well, I don't think I'm going to do that right now, because between work and my videos and then also coloring, I don't feel like I accumulate enough. So I think I'm going to do quarterly. And I'm going to do quarterly um, coloring pages I've done. And I think it'll be more interesting. There'll be more to look at. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. What's wrong? I can't talk today. Leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. I always do. And yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I have this and a lot more content coming up. I do hauls, swatches. I mean, like, yeah, I do everything. So, but have fun. This channel is all about having fun with coloring, not being the best colorist, not, no judgment, safe place. Just, just it's a channel that I wanted to do to share and share my love of this and, just, you know, work with the community and just, have fun. So, yeah, so I hope everybody has a great day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.